Alright, I'm gonna do this video for any Conjurers coming back to uh, EQ2. And for this video I'm just gonna run through kinda like the things you need to know and the things that uh, basically will help you get back on track if you've missed out. Within the last two expansions there's been a lot of upgrades. You can get one here if you come into the Plane of Magic, right here, for pop. There's a level 100 chest here, which has level 100 gear inside of it, as well as mounts and all that kind of stuff. Um, you're going to want to put on the highest level mount that you have, because with the new mounts, they all have stats, and the stats are going to be needed. Along with the fact that uh, here, going through pop, once you gain access to the Plane of Valor, there's a merchant in Plane of Valor that will give you a extra aug or adornment that you're going to need in order to like get through content, because it gives you quite a boost. So here, come over here to Valor. So in here, directly over here, there's the adornment vendor. All these are pretty cheap. This one's free. And this one gives you quite a boost there to your abilities and your maximum health. So you're going to want to get that. Once you hit 110, if you do have the newest expansion, you can go to the library by doing a quest that you'll get out of your mail. When you go there, there's another box that sets you up with 110 gear. You will want to get that gear if you don't have 110 or better gear. Even if you have better gear, you may want to get this gear because, as you can see here, it says this item may have adornments in it. So you can steal the adornments out of it by basically going to your trainer, getting the adornment reclamation so that you can reclaim the adornments out of an item. And then when you get an item, you just pull out the adornments out of it and put it into what you're wearing. Then you can also go over here. Right now there's an event still going on. I don't know when they're removing it. It's been going on for quite a while now, so they may keep it in permanently, because it is a huge catch-up mechanic. And you can come here to Sundering Frontiers. Up here is the pandas. So when you come here, this guy will give a bunch of quests. If you do them all, you can talk to his little buddy here and basically get free level 100 or 110 gear, along with these divine potency grants, which will raise your deity levels here so that you'll do more damage. So you're going to want to get those, and then if you get these greater runes, they do a set bonus that helps you out a lot, as well as you can get potency boosts for your weapons and your shields, as well as specific ascension bonus adornment items here, which depending on your ascension, you're going to pick the ones that you want. You can also get a familiar here, which you should get a familiar just for the stats that the familiar gives to. In this game, stats are like everything. Even a little bit is going to help. So once you've kind of set up your character, like you can see my stats here, they're not the most amazing. There's definitely people with way higher than what I've got on. But once you have all your stuff set up, you go to wherever you want to level. I'm just going to jump into one of these solo instances really quick. So I'm going to show two things. So for a Conjurer specifically, or any caster class, there's a couple things. First, you're going to want to go for your upgrades for your pets first. You always want to make sure that your pets are the strongest. And you're going to want to go for your potency to be as high as possible, and your HP as high as possible. And there's one HP move, this scaled protection, that you're going to want, because that gives you a huge ward against damage initially, which is going to up your survivability a lot. And some people say to go for this, the Undeath, which allows you to come back and like not die when you would normally die. For me, I just do the pet version of that, which is the Reanimate, which is instead of you dying, your pet dies. I like it better, honestly. For me, I have a dime a dozen pets, and it doesn't really hurt to summon another pet, so. And the reuse on it is a lot better, it seems. Alright, so I'm going to do this two ways, because I have my 2.0. If you don't have your 2.0, you're going to probably want to get the 2.0. Even the non-mythic version of it is still pretty amazing. And then add on to that, it unlocks the Special Planewalker's pet, which is an air elemental slash kind of like everything. Like, it counts as a scout, but it really does like mage pet spells and has like tank ability and stuff like that. So it's kind of all around good pet. One thing you will notice when you get to this point is your pet won't hold aggro, like no matter how hard you try. So you're going to want to get a good mercenary. I go with Templars or Archons. They have better heals, so for me that's what I need. I don't need a DPS. I mean, he does a little bit of DPS, but for the most part he mainly does really good heals and protection wards, which is all I really want. I want something that's going to keep me alive. So let's pull out. I'm going to start with just a normal level 110 air elemental. You shouldn't be using the fire elemental anymore. It's really not as good as the air elementals at the end game. So we'll get that on. I don't see my familiars, so I'll pull out a familiar. And let's go into solo. So I'm doing this one because it's one of the first ones you'll do when you enter this zone and start doing the progression quests. So for rotation wise, honestly, I don't even get it through a rotation unless it's a heroic dungeon with other people. And for just solo match, these are going to be all your ascension abilities. Like right now I'm running a level 15 elemental. You can run whatever you want. They all have their pros and cons as far as the ascensions. I like elemental because you get an extra pet and you get a lot of good AoE spells that allow you to kind of go nuts. So for the most part, I'm just going to buff my pet and then go into combat, and he's going to destroy it for me. And that's pretty much it. So when there's multiple targets, always do elemental unity and make sure pet do as much damage as you're doing, so it's basically double. And just start rotating through the AoEs. Well, like you can see, I don't really have much problems killing anything, and for the most part the pet's kind of doing his damage and holding aggro. I'm not using minions intent because it makes scouts not hold aggro at all, and if he can hold aggro, I want him to. So you don't have to use the heroic stuff. I'm just so used to doing it from playing old school. It's just habit. I hit the keys automatically. So that's the air pet, the normal air pet. Now I'm gonna go with the 2.0 pet, just because he's a bit stronger. So, and I'm running with him in offensive stance. You can go defensive if you want them to pull more aggro, but for what I'm using him for, he just needs to do damage. That's all I care about. So you can see with the 2.0, they kind of get wrecked a little bit faster there. So let's go do, and you don't have to kill all these mobs if you don't want to. Alright, where'd you go? I went to the wrong one first. It's this one first. I'll come over here and do like the first couple of names really quick and kind of show you that it doesn't really matter if it's a named or a normal mob. You just kind of keep up with your rotations. The biggest moves that do the fastest damage is going to be your Fiery Annihilation, which is like an instant cast and the mob's already coming. And then you have your animated daggers, which do a ton of damage. And then I always just stack on, if it's multiple mobs, the AoE and multi-target attacks. I'll put animation back on since I switched pets. And then for these guys, it's just go with all your big dot moves. So like, get out pets. Once you have the pets out, do Elemental Unity, do your two biggest dot damage moves. That gets them really pissed off. And I always do like Scorched Earth before it ends. And then that's the extra pet you get for being an elemental, is the big fire pet there. So that's it. That mob's dead, no problem. But yeah, really if you are running decent AA specs and have decent gear, you'll be able to do this content no problem. Like, it's not really built to be super hard. It's just getting those stats correct. And one of the big ones for casters is having double cast. Double cast really helps out a lot. And if you want your merc to be able to survive more than 2 hits, make sure you level him up and give him gear. Otherwise, he's going to be dead in like a hit. opportunity. And your ascension moves are going to be your hardest hitting moves, so make sure to save those for bosses, because if you really want to drop the boss quick, that's how you're going to do it. But as you can see, in most cases, my ward is holding out, along with the ward that my merc can give me for most of the damage, so my HP is not even moving. And that ward comes back so quickly, like, it is so nice. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and if you guys have any questions, go ahead and feel free to drop a comment on the video, and I'll try to get back to you and let you know anything I can help out with.